Actually, Harshad, like I said, this is not something which I started a month. I was watching your program from April. It might be a little surprising, but I was, completely in a dilemma because we were having a very tough situation at office. We were having layoffs. Will I get the time because I'm completely occupied with my work and it's completely getting on pressure? Will I get the time to do that? So that was I was in a dilemma. Then finally, I took a point. Okay, let me at least understand what is going wrong with me, and this is when I joined your session and I just saw, and then you gave your first insight. You were telling that these are the prospects which the employer will look at. Then I started looking at your videos.
I think you really put in effort. How did you manage, your family commitments, children, and your timing?
If I do easy apply, I was not getting any calls. So for each and every company, I had to go and prepare a separate resume and go and submit it to their website, or send it to the concerned person. And I had to connect via LinkedIn and share my profile personally to them. So this is what I started. The second part was something which I was quite skeptical. Like in one of the Mayuri sessions, also I asked a doubt. What is going wrong, ma'am? I'm not getting it. I know about all these things, but I'm not getting through the stage of recruitment. And that's when Mayuri said it's not just the recruitment part alone, it's not the technical knowledge alone. It is the other aspect which you have to consider. They may probably see like, what will you do? You've been you've been in work from home for 2 years. You're coming to work from office. Will you be a cultural fit for that organization? So the cultural fit was something which I thought I have to project when I'm, presenting in the interview. It is not about, what you have done, whether you have developed a code or whether you have even done an application out of that. They're not bothered. But if you have done something that has, really impacted the company in a great way, like you've done an application which has given a 2 million profit to the company, that is something which the recruiter will ask you, even in whichever company you go. Even if you go for the most biggest company like Meta, or even if you go for a small company like Photon, also they ask the same thing. And one recommendation which I would give, which you have yourself have said, how to use ChatGPT. Probably if any of you are applying for any technical interviews, you're going through a particular interview or something, you can use ChatGPT as to help you with the interview questions, possible interview questions, both behavioral as well as on technical aspect based on the JD.
Great. Thanks for sharing all these tips, Deepika. Once of all, congratulations. Okay.
Thank you so much.
And again, happy birthday. And of course, our next journey starts here.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank
you so much for the, for the entire videos. I think this would have not been possible without that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure. Great. You're an action taker. You're the player. Finally, I'm just a catalyst. Champions, please welcome Deepika. Deepika, I see you, so let me spotlight you as well. Let me allow you to, one moment. I think you will not be able to unmute. Can you try unmuting, Deepika? Let me try. Yeah. Can you try now?
Yes. I hope I'm audible to everyone here.
Yes, Deepika, okay. Just little loud, that's all.
But... Yeah, good evening all. Thank you so much, Harshad, for all the things that has been going on. So Harshad, like, let me first tell you, like, this is not something.
Deepika, just hold on. First, let us congratulate you. Okay, hold on. I know you are the fastest person always. Champions, please congratulate our latest achiever, Deepika Bhaskar. Please just put your wishes in the chat box. And she has reason for double wishes. Okay, so to put 2 wishes. It's her birthday today, incidentally. So say happy birthday as well. Amazing that I just pinged you. Like, can you be tonight here? And congratulations, happy birthday. And Deepika, let me say one thing. I'm meeting you for the first time, like face to face, but because so much interactions you did in the group, it's like as if I know you, and that's the power of our group, right? And do you remember, like, one time or twice, I think many people replied to your messages, and it was like really a mastermind thing happening, right? Like on offer negotiation, or you were putting some questions, and you are also, of course, helping others as well. So you are truly an example of championship energy. You are truly an example of fast jobathon, job search. So congratulations. Thank you for inspiring all of us and me as well. So yes, congratulations.
Thank you so much,
So,
Harshit.
Deepika, like quickly tell us little, just a quick elevator pitch so that people will have context about you.
Actually, Harshad, like I said, this is not something which I started a month. I was watching your program from April. It might be a little surprising, but I was, completely in a dilemma because we were having a very tough situation at office. We were having layoffs. The reason being because I'm first to give a little brief about my career. I have been working for the past 2 years in UK and Europe recruitment completely, which has been a work from home model. And the company that I'm working is a UK based company, which is completely headquartered in UK. And we are taking the remote from our respective location. So it's been so slightly it was going on very good. So I had some couple of personal issues because of which I could not concentrate personally. When I took up a leadership position, I was not able to concentrate on few things, but yet we managed to give a very good try, managed to be in the top performer seat in the company. But still there were a lot of management issues that was going on. The reason being because UK market was very dull, and they were at one point of time they decided, okay, we need to shut down the operations. And they were like wanting us to move on to the US market, which was not feasible for me because I have kids. And I also have a very sick mother, which I really couldn't do. So at one point of time I tried explaining them many times, like, it's quite getting very difficult, I'm finding it difficult. But management, it's always like this. We've been in the company for 8 years. I've been in the same industry. So you never know, at one time when you're in the you're a peak performer, you're appreciated a lot. When you go down, that's how the management looks at you. They will not consider you when they are facing a loss. So that's the same thing. So I was like completely depressed, and I was like wondering, like, what do I do? I need to search for a job. So I was like watching your sessions, April I was like seeing, and I was like wondering, okay, shall I join here or not? Will I get the time? Because I'm completely occupied with my work, and it's completely getting on pressure. Will I get the time to do that? So that was, I was in a dilemma. And I started my job search journey from the month of May completely. I started looking out for jobs. I started looking out for things, and I was almost in a verge, like, situation was such that any job that comes to me, I will grab it and I will take it up and I'll go. So whether it was far away distance or whatever it is, I was ready to take that. So that was something in a situation where I was put in. And when I like started getting offers, I got few offers which were very good. A few companies which actually called me, I went till the final round of interview, and then I got rejected. And I was like wondering what is going on. I mean, 8 years of experience I have in the market. I know about the Indian recruitment. I know about the UK, Europe, and all. Then what is it that is going on? What is it that
Yeah.
at every point of time they were like feedbacks. So I had one feedback from one interviewer telling that, no, we are looking for someone who's technically good. You don't know
Mm-hmm.
about the company, you don't know about the technology. So that was one feedback. The other feedback which I got is, will you be able to stick on with the company? I'm seeing a lot of career breaks in your profile. So
Mm.
I've had like a lot of genuine career breaks due to my maternity and other aspects. So they said, like, will you be able to stick on? Will you be able to
Yeah.
travel? You've
Mm-hmm.
done work from home. You're going to come to work from office. Are you sure that you will stick on? We don't have that confidence with you. So I
So
was like,
these were all your weak links,
these were all
Deepika,
my
right?
weak
So,
links. And I was like wondering, okay, I don't know where I'm going wrong. So that's when, like, I saw your I thought, okay, let's take a time and I attend your session, because every time I used to register and then I couldn't join. Then finally I took a point, okay, let me at least understand what is going wrong with me. And that's when I joined your session, and I just saw. And then you gave your first insight. You were telling that these are the prospects which the employer will look at. Then I started looking at your videos. So one advantage which I got was, all this while I used to use Chat GPT as a tool for a technical source. Any technical
okay.
knowledge I need, I used to use the Chat
Mm-hmm.
GPT. I
Mm-hmm.
never used it for any of the recruitment purpose. So when I saw Chat GPT, being used for a recruitment purpose, that was something really that was something different, which I've never thought of. And it was I was like almost like getting used to it. So even right from the profile preparation, right from changing the keywords, I was like but one thing that was always there in my mind was the course length, Okay, I was like wondering, okay, we have so much of things to go on, but I need to find a job very immediately, because at any point of
So,
time
how
I'll be
did you
fired.
do that, Deepika? How did you do that? Because all champions face the same problem, lack of time or lack of motivation. But you were always like, and I think you attended my masterclass also two, three times probably. I think you
Yes.
really put in effort. How did you manage, your family commitments, children, and your timing? Just tell. So, Deepika, today you are a coach for others. You are giving tips to others. Okay, everyone is listening and looking at you, congratulating you, but they are trying to find answers to their problems. So how did you manage that?
First thing what I did was, first thing I wanted to know, like, first thing which I started is, I'm not getting calls, something is wrong with my resume. So this was the first aspect I thought. So though they were, at every stage of your session, there were different pamphlets and forms which needs to be filled. So I first thought, let me first go through the video, let me first try to correct all these things and start applying it simultaneously. So this was the main focus for me, because as I told you, it was a very tough situation. I could be told to go at any point of time, and
Mm,
that's what also happened when I gave my resignation. So
mm,
the
mm.
first part, that's why I was also asking you when one of the session. In fact, I asked you,
Yeah.
see, I have two resumes. Which one do I give? Because every time, and I understood one thing: it is not possible for easy apply here, no
Yeah.
matter whatever I do. So something which I was also looking out is, I mean, I also had, even from upgrad team also, they were also telling me like how to go about. But still, like, one thing which I understood, it's not possible through easy apply. If I do easy apply, I was not getting any calls. So for each and every company, I had to go and prepare a separate resume and go and submit it to their website, or send it to the concerned person, and I had to connect via LinkedIn and share my profile personally to them. So this is what I started.
So you
And
did
this
that,
is,
right? You did that
I
hard
did
work.
that.
Deepika, did you change resume for every job, or did you had two, three job? Sorry, you had two, three resumes like pattern, and you
Initially,
used to.
initially when I applied, I had two resumes, but then later, that's when I asked you, like, I have two resumes, what do I do? So that's when you told me, like, have one master resume which will combine everything together. So that is when, like, we took the help. That is where the community members were very helpful. Like, we had, luckily we had the same people in my team, same people in recruitment who were a part of the community. So like
Yes.
Karan and Shalini and all, so they all said, like, master resume has to be something like this. If you're going to put such a small resume, it will not get through. So that is when I started preparing master resume with each and every gamuts of HR. I started explaining what I've done in that, and I
Mm.
prepared, my resume was only showing the key achievements. So this is something which I got the insight was completely from your video. So your video was telling, like, 2 pages of resume is what I have to submit, and 2 pages I can't put a whole story, but I could only show my key achievements, and I maintained that. I maintained that a very decent profile in sending through all the companies. So few companies which I went in, I did. And the luckiest aspect, of course, they were like 5 to 6 companies, 4 companies which were generalist profile. Of course,
Mm.
4 companies, I couldn't go through the final round because it was completely a hardcore generalist profile. But 3 companies which I had were completely onto my profile, and
Mm.
everything was, I had easily cracked. So that was something. The resume cracking was done. The second part was something which I was quite skeptical. Like, in one of the Mayuri session is also, I asked a
Mm.
doubt, what is going wrong, ma'am? I'm not getting it. I know about all these things, but I'm not getting through the stage of recruitment. And that's when Mayuri said, it's not just the recruitment part alone, it's not the technical knowledge alone. It is the other aspect which you have to consider. They may probably see, like, what will you do? You've been you've been in work from home for 2 years. You're coming to work from office. Will you be a cultural fit for that organization? So the cultural fit was something which I thought I have to project when I'm presenting
Wow.
in the
Yeah.
interview.
And all these
And
weak links you prepared, right? As you said,
I
work
prepared
from
in all
home
these weak
and
links.
longer breaks, or now you're 80 years experience. So why will they not take a junior instead of you, right? Like you have to really position yourself for leadership positions also, as you said.
Because
So
yes,
yeah.
I saw the interview video, like, if you are applying for a junior position, how you have to present your, if you're applying for a senior role, how you have to convince them. All these things I got an aspect, and I was able to crack, like I said, I was able to crack 3 interviews. out of things. And the interview which from where I got the current company, that
Yes.
was an overseas interview. It was the last two rounds were done by an overseas person, that is by a German manager. And to be very frank with you, this is the first time I have cracked an interview with an overseas manager. Every time I take up an interview with an overseas manager, it has never been successful. Something or the other, the person will,
What what did happen this time? What did happen?
uh, the first round, like I said, the cultural fit was something which they were looking out. So first time when I gave the interview, I gave my profile, and then I just got a hint. See, when you're explaining your profile to the manager, they are not going to look at your experience, your previous experience. They will only look at what you're currently doing. Like you said, that is what is expected in most of the management criteria. So when I started giving my second round of interview while explaining the profile, I told them very clearly, this is what I'm currently doing. This is what I've done
Hmm.
before. And these are my key achievements here. So one question they were asking me is, how do you think you're going to fit in over here? It's going to be a completely work from home, and you're going to come for a work from office. So how do you think you would? So I told them very frankly that I needed a work from office, because because I've been in a comfort zone for 2 years. I've enjoyed that completely, but now I want to come to office and explore new things,
Yeah.
explore my new level of career.
Well done.
And
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
go through, go through the space, exploring much
Yeah.
other opportunities. So if it's not just recruitment, I'm going to also look into other aspects in your company. Like I said, if I'm going to get a chance to work with performance, I'm going to do that. If I'm going to get a chance to work with payroll,
Wow.
I'm going to do that. So this was first thing. And another challenging question which was asked here was, what is it? Why do you choose our company? Why did you want to come to
Okay.
our company? So this
Okay.
was something completely unexpected. So like I told you, overseas interview. So probably if anyone is trying for, overseas jobs or something, these are the cultural fit is something they will ask you very every now and then. And this was a very tough challenge where I had to know about the company to speak. If I had not prepared for the interview, it would have been a very bad thing over there. I would have probably not been selected for that round. So I told them very clearly, see, your company is completely a language making application company, and I'm a linguistic person. So I feel, apart from seeing it only as a recruitment strategy, I feel like I can do something more to your company beyond the
Hmm.
recruitment part. So this is something where I, convinced them, and they were very happy with my answers. And I think out of five candidates, I was the only candidate. They were like convinced, and they immediately took a decision. Friday the interview happened. Friday itself they took a call, and they said, okay, fine, we will take this girl. So they didn't have any other it was not something like where they were delaying till Monday or Tuesday, unlike other companies and all. So it was a very spot decision, and that's how things happened.
Deepika, and one more thing to point out, just before this,
Mm.
there was, I think, one company like you got selected, but there was like, not a good offer, right? Like they were putting a lot of conditions and all that. And that's where a lot of chat happened in our group, right? But you didn't join, right? That's why you got a
Mm.
better one, probably. You didn't become desperate to join a wrong company. Do you think so?
See, they were having lot of conditions, but apart from the
Yes.
conditions, the main reason was something. See, I had got the profile which they have given me is a talent acquisition lead. The profile that I've given here is a senior talent acquisition specialist. Uh, One thing about both the companies is when I look into long term aspect, my entire
Yes.
goal was something where I want to stick in long term, stick with the company for a long time, and then leave the company. And but shouldn't be a situation after 2 years they lay off. They say the market is down and they send me. It shouldn't be like that. So in that aspect, when I felt this company was better, and it's very close to my house also. It's hardly half an hour distance from my house. It's completely that was one aspect. Apart from that, the salary they were offering, the kind of annexure which they were offering was completely better. They have a medical
Mhm.
insurance and other thing, but here it was same like what I was getting in work together. It's a very standard pay which I was getting, and I felt it's not worth that much. So I had told them, and the shift timings was something which was 10 hours, which I felt it will not be suitable. Though they are giving a 2 hours work from home also, it may not be feasible for me. So I
Deepika,
think I
this
had
all
to.
happened because you could generate multiple calls. You could get choices. right? I mean, that's the whole trick, right? You kept on applying with the right attitude, right mindset, and the hard work on resume. That at a time you could generate multiple calls, right? Otherwise, you could have just accepted whatever along, right? If you had just got one offer, isn't it? I mean, through
Yes,
in I think 2 weeks, all this happened, right? These three
yes,
calls,
yes,
I mean,
almost.
three offers and all that.
I think there's a
Great.
question, I believe, like technical person, why we need it for every company, because my technical will not change as good. I would like to why we need to change as we cannot change the tech. Actually, for technical skills, let me just tell you, Asha, we recruit for technical thing. If there is an AWS engineer, the profile remains AWS is something which will be there in the resume. That skill will never change. But what you have to project in the resume is what is the key achievement you have done. For example, if you have developed any, we see there are like ancillary programs, like for example AWS, some people would have worked in GCP along with AWS, and some people would have used Python. So you have to mention that very clearly according to the JD. So that is where it becomes very important. So you
Yeah.
have to catch the common words, like if you're having 2 3 JDs asking 2 3 companies asking only for Python experience or only for GCP, you have to put that together and you have to prepare a
Yeah.
resume. So,
Well said.
like I said, it's just the key achievements what the recruiters want. It is not about what you have done, whether you have developed a code or whether you have even done a application out of that. They are not bothered. But if you have done something that has really impacted the company in a great way, like you've done an application which has given a 2 million uh, profit to the company, that is something which the recruiter will ask you, even in whichever company you go. Even if you go for the most biggest company like Meta, or even if you go for a small company like Photon also, they ask the same thing. So this is what I keep telling. Even when we had the meetup also, we told everyone it
Mm-hmm.
is just like what you project in your resume. It's not the skills. The skills will be, HR will take the skills, but when a technical person will only look into the achievement.
Well said. Well said, Deepika. And what you just did, right? Even though now you will not be probably active in Jobathon, people will reach out to you, will help them, right? Because you know the other side. At least I think on the technical recruiting, you must be very expert at,
Yes,
right? I think on the other side. So, I'm sure you will help others if they reach out to you, right? We need more people like you who have gone through that process, and now you become that inspiration and example. Great. Deepika, thank you so much. And I know you want to celebrate this day. Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations. And
thank
of
you so
course,
much,
our
Ashish.
journey doesn't end here. Stay connected in the group with others, meetups, and of course, a lot of things are happening right in the group.
And one recommendation which I would give, which you have yourself have said, how to use a chat GPT. Probably if any of you are applying for any technical interviews, you're going through a particular interview or something, you can use chat GPT as to help you with the interview questions, possible
Yeah,
interview questions,
yeah,
both behavioral as well as on technical aspect
yeah.
based on the JD,
That's
because
why
that is
actually,
something.
separate session I thought, because every time we were taking AI, but I was not getting enough time in the session. So I thought, let me put a separate session for all this. Yeah, well said, Deepika. All these things can be done very easily now. Yes,
Because
yes.
based on the company profile you'll get an idea, like if a company is completely into AWS or GCP, you will get an idea what sort of questions they may ask. And particularly you need to know, at least have an idea of what kind of products they do. Because every company you go, they will ask a question like, what do you know about, have you ever gone through our website? These are few things which you can capture the interviewer. When you say I know about the company, yes, I go went through your website, I could see this is what I understood from your website. These are
Yeah,
extra information which see, it gives it gets an idea with the recruiter that you are very proactive, you have the
yeah,
zeal to learn. So though you're technically, you may be here and there, you may not be qualified, when you give the attitude, that I am ready to learn anything, I'm ready to do, get into action, that gives you an attitude like, okay, this person, if I take in, he will stick on for a very long term with me. So
yeah,
that is
yeah,
something which
yeah.
most of the companies they expect.
Great, great. Thanks for sharing all these tips, Deepika. And once of all, congratulations.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, Ash.
And again, happy birthday. And of course,
Thank you.
our next journey starts here. you're an achiever now. Our next journey starts from here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, sure, Ashish.
Thank you.
Definitely, I'll be there in the session also every time. So any kind of doubts, people can, you
Yes.
can reach out to me. I can help you out. Thank you so much for this, and
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for the for the entire videos. I think this would have not been possible without that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure. Great. Great. You're an action taker. You're the player. Finally, I'm just a catalyst. Great, Deepika. Great. You're a fast action taker. That's what I liked about your journey. Great. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.